Hi, I'm Molly, and all my personal data is now freely available all over the internet. Anyone can find it. Seriously, I don't think anything was spared. Just imagine for a moment how vulnerable you'd feel if your address, phone number, your insurance information, banking info, even your social number, literally everything was available to the public. At first, I was so upset about my credit tanking and my money being stolen, but I quickly realized that that wasn't even the worst yet to come. There are so many crazy, horrible people in this world, haters, perverts, maniacs, and a horde of them suddenly appeared in front of my house. For a while, I wasn't able to even leave my home. It was just too scary. Perhaps I should backtrack a little bit. I'm sure you're wondering who I am and how this all happened to me, right? I'm an amateur vlogger. I'm a former amateur vlogger, and I already know who leaked my data, personally. Melissa and I created our channels just for fun and began to post videos. You know, there were videos like who dances the best or try not to laugh challenges, those kinds of things. Melissa and I knew there were plenty of people who were cuter, smarter, and all around better, but we didn't care. We wanted to have fun. At first, anyway. We hoped that some of our videos would get recommended and that people would like them, but things quickly turned south. We disagreed on the content we should make. I said we should change something up, keep it fresh and interesting, and Melissa was sure that funny skit videos would always be trending. As a result, we ended up making different channels for our conflicting content ideas. I typically posted beauty videos about different makeups, the latest cosmetic products, and other, girly stuff. And Melissa kept posting funny sketch videos. I don't know, maybe I've always had a talent for this kind of thing, but people seem to love my ideas. I'm not just trying to be narcissistic, the numbers proved it. The number of my followers kept growing, and they were mostly girls. However, increased fans also meant increased haters, but I was okay. My haters would usually write something about the fact that there are many other girls like me and that they can't even distinguish one beauty guru from another. I wasn't mad because I've always tried to take criticism calmly, and also they were totally right. I often did take makeup ideas from other more popular channels. The only person who I really listened to was Melissa. At the time, she was my main critic as well as my manager of sorts. Her channel was completely dead, so she used all her energy to help me. She searched for new video ideas, looked through the trending tab, and did all the prep work like managing ads or buying things for the next video. However, after many months of steady growth, I soon started to notice that the channel stopped its trajectory for some reason. The old subscribers stayed with me for a time, but they didn't like my videos as often, and soon people began to unsubscribe. Melissa was saying that it's because our field is highly competitive. There are lots of other beauty channels nowadays. People subscribe to family and life vlogs, which are way more popular. I couldn't explain why at the time, but something felt off about her explanation. So I decided to sit down and watch some of my more recent videos, and that's when the light bulbs went off. Melissa was messing up my channel on purpose. All the trends she told me about were way out of date. My mother and sister even confessed to me that my latest looks were awful. Melissa, of course, claimed innocence. She said that it was all a big mistake. She never worked with makeup and just did what everyone else was saying. But I'm pretty sure she was lying. She wanted my channel to flop as hard as hers did, and she almost succeeded. Naturally, we had a massive falling out, and I began to work on my own once again. And wouldn't you know it, with that, my channel came alive once again. People started to subscribe, write comments, and like my videos. I was convinced that my channel was dying because of Melissa. I was on the up and up once again. And then the unthinkable happened. I woke up in the middle of the night because my phone started to ring nonstop. There were lots of calls and messages, even on my private social media, and all the numbers were unknown and looked weird. I couldn't even pick it up because right after one call, it went straight to the next. Then my parents and my sister ran into my room. My mother was screaming that someone was trying to break in through our front door, and she had already called the police. I looked out and couldn't believe my eyes. There were quite a crowd of men, women, and honestly, mostly teens standing in front of my house. The most aggressive ones had almost broken in. Thankfully, the police came and took them away. My phone number was blocked by my phone service provider and eventually stopped ringing. My father brandished an unloaded rifle to try and scare the crowd. My mother, sister, and I went into the basement for our own safety. Now, just to be crystal clear, this wasn't some sort of zombie apocalypse. Someone doxed me. Through my channel, they managed to plaster my personal data all over the internet. Everything from my driver's license to my insurance on the car that I got for my 16th birthday. In the morning, my bank account was totally empty. I wish it was only the money that I had earned from my channel, but the money that my parents were saving for college, all of my personal savings from gifts and side jobs, and also a little inheritance from my grandmother. It was all gone. I was dirt poor. Remember how I said that the money was not the worst of my troubles? Letters filled my mailbox. Many described terrible things, made terrifying threats. Fearing for my life, my lack of money felt so insignificant. I know who did it. It couldn't have been anyone else other than Melissa. The timing of it all was just too perfect. Plus, she's the only other person who has access to my channel. I'd never even saved the password on my own laptop, but she knew my password as my manager, and I was stupid enough not to change it after our fallout. The police refused to deal with the situation. They told me that one couldn't just delete something from the internet. They'd said that they did some investigation, but it didn't help. I can only hope that I'll get my money back so I can restart my life. I hope she's satisfied that in her moment of jealousy, she's completely destroyed the rest of my life. And I equally hope she gets what's coming to her.
My name is Melissa. Yes, I'm that bad friend who leaked personal data of the sweet little Mollie. But it's not as obvious as it seems. To begin, I should say it was my idea to create a channel. My dear friend kept repeating that it was a bad idea and that we need to do something more productive. Or at least we shouldn't embarrass ourselves. I understand that it sounds like words of an envious and bad person. But how would you react the fact that someone else got the dream of your life which you've been working so hard for? And if you still feel sorry for Mollie, you've never been in my shoes. All in all, I saw myself as a famous and popular blogger with 1 million followers and a nice audience. And I asked Mollie only for help while filming and also to be a second character for some of my videos. When she offered for me to separate, I just laughed. People didn't like our mutual channel, and I thought that separately it would be even worse. I thought she wouldn't even be able to get 100 views. Oh, and by the way, it was my idea for her to film makeup tutorials. It seemed to be the only thing that she was good at. But it was awful and not fair. Mollie's sweet face and her nice body, which she was showing from all possible angles, drew the attention of people. Really, who puts on makeup only wearing lingerie? And who watches such kinds of videos considering we're only 17? Her channel started growing and mine was completely dead. And Mollie, as though making fun of me, offered me to help her. Like she was trying to take pity on me. I honestly didn't want to mess up her channel. It's just I have another preference in life. Makeup tutorials and fashion trends are not interesting to me. I prefer reading some smart books. That's why it happened so bad. But it's not the reason to blame me for that. We were at school and Mollie blamed me for all her failures just in my face. She did it in front of all of her suck-ups, whom she has got for their likes and her ads. She called me a loser and said that I framed her. You can imagine how people started to treat me at school. Everyone at school and in our company was sure I'm a bad person who wants the worst for Mollie. Even my parents told me that I should be thankful for her attention and friendship. No one cared about me, and no one thought about my feelings. After that, I decided to take revenge. I wanted to do it the best way possible for her to know she made a mistake. I still had her password, so it was not difficult to make a video with all her data. We were friends, so I had copies from the time we traveled to the adjacent state. To be honest, I didn't expect her to have that many crazy fans. I thought they would just make several calls and send her lots of messages. But it happened even better. They even managed to steal all her money while she was sound asleep in her little bed. I feel no shame because I did everything right. It will be a good lesson for her. No one can take away a dream from the other. Do write in the comments section your thoughts on the story and the characters. Like and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss the next video.